require different qualifications.
Hello folks, this is a in-between video. Usually I do my videos with a fairly consistent series of things that what I've been doing in one after the other, but I'm going to break up my Florida Tampa trip with a little trip up to the Blowing Rock Winterfest. I think this will be a quicker, easier video to produce and get out there for you, so forgive the floating camera here. But we're going to a Winterfest in North Carolina, and as a lot of my subscribers know, I am a northern New York resident, native, and Winterfests in the Great North is probably a little different than the Winterfest down here, but they're always a lot of fun for the middle of the winter, and you need to get out in this cold, dark time and have some fun and enjoy yourself. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to hopefully get there in time to see the polar plunge, or the polar bear plunge, where the crazy people jump into the water when it's like 40 degrees. We used to live up in the northern corner of New York, Plattsburgh, New York, about an hour away from Lake Placid and Saranac Lake. And Saranac Lake used to put on an amazing Winterfest. I really believe it's probably the best Winterfest in the nation. I was researching Minneapolis, St. Paul, to see what their Winterfest has, and I don't think it really compares. One of the things that the Saranac Lake Winterfest has is Gary Trudeau, who is the artist for Doonesbury. And if you are young, you might not know who Doonesbury is, but he was a comic artist that drew the Sunday comics for the Doonesbury cartoon, and it was a fairly politically motivated cartoon. A lot of it was against the Vietnam War and war in general, and political ideas that didn't go very well. But in case you weren't aware, Saranac Lake, New York used to be a tuberculosis sanitarium town, and Gary Trudeau is the great-grandson of, I think it's Edward Trudeau, who was the doctor who started the Saranac Lake Sanitarium for pulmonary diseases. And he passed that down to his son, and then passed down to his son, and then his son opened the Trudeau Institute on pulmonary disease research. And Gary Trudeau, while he's a comic artist, he still maintains some we got the sun behind us. Still maintains some connection with the Trudeau Institute. And if you've never been to Saranac Lake, it's a very interesting Adirondack town because it has tons and tons of great big beautiful houses with great big beautiful porches on the first floor and on the second floor. And the second floor porches are very big because they were sleeping porches. The theory was, back in the 1885 when Edward Trudeau started the Institute, the theory was that if you slept outside in frigid cold, and Saranac Lake gets down to 25-30 below zero Fahrenheit, that would kill the bacteria that infected the lungs. And this is, of course, way before antibiotics. But there's quite a lot of people that went there, including, I think, some of the presidents. I think Wilson and Roosevelt both went up there to try to get cured of their issues. But it's a beautiful, beautiful town, and the Adirondacks in the middle of this wilderness region of the New York State mountains. But their winter fest, winter carnival they call it, included a huge castle. And in 2 years that I went up there, they did not have the castle because it was too warm. But they used to cut 14-inch, I think they were 14-inch blocks of ice, 14 by 10 by 8 blocks of ice out of the lake, right there in Saranac Lake, as Lake Flower is their lake. And they would build this castle. And it was, I think the biggest one I ever saw was 3 stories. Full-size castle. 3 stories high, 3 bedrooms, balconies, towers and castle. It looked like a castle. And they used to blow off the fireworks from behind the castle. So it was a really interesting winter carnival. They had all the regular winter sports: skiing, downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, sledding, tubing. They used to have a 5K race, and they used to have stupid things that only a winter carnival deserves to have, like they would have snowshoe softball. If you can imagine playing softball while wearing snowshoes, they used to do that stuff. And they used to do tons of food activities, like chili cook-offs and bake sales for the local things. They had a thing called the frying pan throw for women to demonstrate how they kept their husbands in line during those frustrating winter months when there was no hunting, no hiking, no outdoor activities unless you had a snowmobile. And so that was pretty funny. And there were some women there that could throw a frying pan pretty hard and pretty far, so you had to be careful of them. There's snowmobile races. There were ice boat races one year, although they were not on the Saranac Lake area, but they were during the same time. Lots of good stuff. But the Winter Carnival here at Blowing Rock has the Polar Plunge. They have a lot of open shops and shopping specials. They have food everywhere. They're going to have ice sculptures like everybody has. So, and then we've got a dog race. Saranac Lake used to have dog races where the dogs were on the sleds and the people pulled the sleds. And it was kind of a real chore to keep the dogs on the sleds because, of course, they wanted to run with the runners. But a lot of good times in the past. I hate to be an old guy talking about what life was like when I was younger, but that was a good 30 years ago. Wow. But I don't know if Gary Trudeau still goes to that. I see he's living in New York with his wife. And if you didn't know this, his wife is Jane Pauley, who is from, I think, a CBS news anchor. And you used to see Gary and Jane at the Winterfest in Saranac Lake. I believe they still go up there. They used to hand out Doonesbury buttons, which had a special Winterfest cartoon on it, eating ice cream, or Doonesbury eating ice cream, or strawberry shortcake, or something that was good for the Winterfest. But anyways, we're on the road. We just drove through a huge fog patch, and we were going so slow I thought I could do this while driving along. So we're going to be in Blowing Rock in another 20 or 30 minutes. Got the boy back there with us, and the sun is coming up. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, although it's supposed to be in the 30s. But I'll tell you, 30s at a Winterfest to me, that's not even that's not even freezing. Come on. We'll see how the ice sculpture goes, and we'll see how the Polar Plunge goes. So hang on, and we'll be there in a little while, and we'll see what North Carolina Winter Carnival Winterfest is all about. Hopefully there will be a lot of craft beer and wine tasting, because I see that's on the schedule too. All right, folks, hang in there. Be right back in 1 second.
rejection rate for new applicants has tripled in recent years to nearly 25%. Immigration.
Blowing Rock is on the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and the views up here are phenomenal. I believe it's the confluence or the coming together of US 321, US 421, and US 221 along with the Blue Ridge Parkway. So it's a beautiful place you can get to from anywhere. Well, we're here. This is the pond. There's the dock. They're going to jump off with the ladders to get back in. We'll see how this goes. Stay tuned. There's a lot of people here to watch. All those people on the other side. We're on this side. It's a little windy over here, and it's snowing, of course. So that always makes it even more fun. The only food you should ever eat at a winter carnival is ice cream. Okay, I believe this is a wholly unique demonstration for North Carolina's Winterfest. This is the local TV meteorologist giving a demonstration on how snow is made. Something I don't think we'd ever had at Saranac Lake or anywhere in New York for that matter. So here we have the official beer garden with all the local brewing companies plying their wares, and the mountaineers doing their demonstration of what mountaineers do. Got a lot of tables here that aren't set up yet, but we got some good beers here. We're waiting for those. Here's something you'll never see at a Saranac Lake Winterfest. Somebody came on a bicycle. All right, we got the ice sculpting going on. The snowmaking demonstration is going really well, and all the little stores are being pretty well used for warmth and refreshment. This is the hayride, unfortunately not with horses, with a tractor. They seem to be piling people in there pretty tight, and I'm imagining that's pretty warm. So, nice touch, and here's a really nice Rubicon. I want to know who owns that. We got the chili cook-off has started. All right, it's time to follow the signs. We're headed for the chili challenge. Sunday is the Winter Paws Dog Show. We could bring Aquila to that, but okay, we're in the chili challenge. They're selling water for $1, and they got chili and a big horseshoe. Looks like they got a lot of chili. We gotta see what we got here. Bean and corn chili with broccoli or bacon. Pretty good. Not big on corn chili. So what is this?
It's chorizo and pork.
It's a 5-pepper chili?
Pepper. Oh, it is going to be spicy.
Oh.
I bet it is. But you can do a dollop of daisy if you need. Do you need me to dollop you?
No, no.
Okay.
We're brave.
Me too.
Or foolish, one of the two. This is very good. Very good. But hot.
You're walking around, I heard one of the chefs had 2 different chilies. You want to try it? It's really good. 8 types of meat.
I'm trying to get the last one down. Yeah, give me one.
That's right. 8 different beans, 2 different types of meat, and 8 different chili peppers.
Wow.
This is the 828.
So you just cleaned out the kitchen. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, well, a whole world of flavor. Would you like to try some amps? This is the 828 chili from Gideon Ridge. It's 8 different beans, 2 types of meat, and 8 different peppers.
That is good.
Probably.
Thank you very much. This is short rib chili. Man, is this good. This is extra good. This was one of the first ones in their line. Well, the chili was definitely worth the walk. We got a lot of good flavors in there, a lot of different ones. I'm really surprised. I really liked the smoked rib, was my favorite. They had a vegan chili that I thought was a pretty big letdown after my own, but you know, they're different. And they're probably making it a little mild. I mean, it was kind of tasteless actually. But I think there were 26 different chilies in there and they were pretty good. Well, that was a nice, enjoyable little winter fest. Nowhere near as cold as I'm used to, but everybody else seemed to be freezing to death. So you gotta take it for what it's worth. But we're gonna let Aquila stretch his legs a little bit and do a little hiking along this lake in the Moses Cone Preserve or estate or whatever this is, and hope that you can hear me through the normal microphone on the camera. But as one thing I'll tell you about Blowing Rock, North Carolina, is that it's extremely expensive. I bought these gloves, and these are just a real thin polyester glove, nylon glove, and they were $40. And the guy tried to get me to buy another pair of gloves that were electronically set up so you could use your iPhone and stuff with the fingertips. They have that pad on them, and those were $80. $80 for a pair of gloves. I nearly fainted. So been a while since I bought gloves anywhere but Walmart, I guess. But we're gonna take this little hike, and we'll try to take some pictures while we're moving along. So don't go away. Wait till the end and see what comes up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. We've got more outdoor stuff coming up. We got a couple of things for the Aliner we're gonna do, and we got my bathroom I'm gonna show you. I don't know why, but it's interesting stuff. Anyways, thanks for coming along with me, folks. I do this for you guys. I wouldn't get out of the house if it wasn't. I'd probably be sitting home watching computers or sports or something. This is much better for me, better for you, better for Aquila. So thanks again. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, comment for anything you want or like or don't like. Let me know. See ya. Stay tuned now. Across this pond and up that hill is the Moses Cone Mansion, which just incidentally, my niece's name is Cone. Don't know if she's related, probably not, but originally they came from down here. So you can go to that mansion and visit. I did a video on that. I'll put it up above.